Good morning, it's Devorah, it's InStory Live, and we're having what I'm calling now the Torah edition. Wisdom for the world, wisdom on your way, and I'm committed always to inspiring everybody to really create and live an illuminated life. Hi, Summer. Like, what is it that will help you light up your life? Hi, Kathleen Lester from Israel. Hey, Kay, my chief support in our world. So what is it that gets in the way? And so on Fridays now, I'm going to do some Torah teaching. I know it's summer in our hemisphere. It's even the summer solstice. So I'm teaching from a book called Restore My Soul by Rebbe Nachman. And I'm going to read a little bit from it, and then I'm going to talk about it a little bit. And, you know, it's from a rabbi from the 1800s, so you have to translate in. If you're into politically correct language, you get to translate in your consciousness. I'll try to help you a little. So there's a little bit longer piece I want, but there's a tiny little piece that says, if you believe you can break something, have faith that you can repair it. Okay, here we go. You will rise and fall hundreds and thousands of times before you merit to serve God perfectly. So perfectly doesn't mean perfect. It means that no matter where you are, you're going to fall down and get up. It really is a big teaching. Rebbe Nachman, one of his big teachings is never give up, never despair. And so when he says serve God perfectly, I want you to translate that into living an illuminated life, to feeling that you are in the flow of your purpose, that you are really in alignment with the higher calling of your soul. Okay? And then he says the greatest tzaddikim, in Hebrew, a tzaddik is a righteous person. And think of it as an elevated teacher, a really whole, complete wisdom teacher. So the greatest teachers have also endured all this, right? Like, let's not forget that our greatest teachers fall down and get up. I often say to the women I teach, there is only fall down, get up. The difference is that what you will notice if you work on your personal growth is that, at least I have noticed this. It's not that I don't fall down, I do. I just don't fall down quite as often, as hard, or for as long, and I get up more quickly with more grace and ease, usually. Okay, I'm going to go on. I'm reading from Rebbe Nachman. The most important thing is your determination. Those of you who know me will know why I like this. One of my mottos in my year-long coaching program is what I call gently, gently, but relentlessly. Okay? Your determination. If you have a calling of your soul, do not give up. Don't quit. I'm always telling people, don't quit. Don't quit on yourself and your vision. Let nothing in the world distract you. So here's the thing. When I speak with women who have a calling of their soul, so often I say, you know, you have to be careful because the world will take you down. There will always be a better time, more money, more opportunity, a better reason to do the thing that is the most elevated calling of your soul. The world will always endeavor to distract you, pull you away from that deeper calling. The women I speak with have the feeling that something more is being asked of us. It's not always clear. We don't necessarily have the confidence yet, but if you can pull your awareness back and hone in on it, the distractions of the world will have a less compelling hold on you. Never go slack, meaning don't just forget about it. Well, that's it. It's not important. I'm just going to pay attention to something else. I'm going to forget about it. Only serve God whatever happens. So a while back in in a deep class I was doing, I think we were asked something about our main goals or something like that. Anyway, what came to me from it was 3 things I think about every morning. And the first thing is love God first. I'm a God person. I learned many years ago how to translate the word God back into something elevated, wondrous, spiritual, and good and lovely. If it's universe or source for you, just translate. Don't let the old words hold you back. So I love God, and I always have. Even in my classes that, in Israel, I went through a whole thing about that. Like, I believe God loves us, and I love God. Love is an important thing here. So when he says, only serve God whatever happens, what that means is that, for me, is that I love God first. And an example is I went through, I don't know how many of you even know any of my story, but I was married when I was 32. I got married somewhat late, and my husband and we went through 10 years of infertility. It's kind of hell, infertility, especially the later years of it. I mean, thank God we have 2 beautiful adopted daughters. I was at their births. They're 17 and 21. Their stories are miracles. But I remember miscarrying and thinking, okay, God, like, how can you tell me I'm supposed to have children and then you don't let me? And like, I was mad at God. And but the thing is, I still believed in God. It says never despair. And I got back up. It was a hard thing to get back up out of, but I got back up. You should always make a fresh beginning as if you have never begun before in your life. And that is a good example. Like, I had to begin every time as we were working on becoming pregnant and having children and it wasn't working, I had to be able to begin again. Get back up, begin again. I love how he says that you should always make a fresh beginning as if you have never begun before in your life. Start serving God now, as if this is the very first time. What does that mean? Start serving God now as if it was the very first time? So what do you think that means? I would love to know what you think that means. Even in the course of a single day, you may have to start all over again from the beginning any number of times. So this book has little bite-sized sections, and that idea of never give up, begin again, and so I want to attach to that a little bit of what I talked about yesterday, with the inner smile or feeling a smile. How do you begin again? And so there are a few of my teachings. Pause, notice, and shift is one of the ways I teach. How do you do that? Begin again. And then there's also this simple technique of to smile. Just literally physically smile until you feel your energy shift. Or think about something that lights you up until you smile. And then do that work for what's called the inner smile, to feel your inner being smiling, so to speak. And see if you can shift your energy to begin again. And what does that mean? Okay, so he starts with, you will rise and fall hundreds and thousands of times before you merit to serve God perfectly. What that means to me is that you're going to fall down and get up on your journey to live your highest purpose, your greatest calling, to feel like you are living a life that lights you up, an illuminated life. And that is my goal and my vision. I lead a year-long group coaching program called the InStory Way. And there are 2 things I say about what is the InStory Way. First of all, it's finally doing things your way, finding your voice and your vision. And it's also the InStory way to create and live an illuminated life. So this is my blessing for you. If you observe Shabbat and it's Friday, you're watching Shabbat Shalom, and have a wonderful weekend. And whenever you bump into this video, you are bumping into it to be reminded, to be encouraged to get back up, no matter what lifts you up, what helps you get back up. Sending you all blessings, inspiration, and joy, And as always, remember to go out in the world, share your story, live your purpose, and be a blessing. Bye, folks.